computer. All right. Good day, sisters and brothers. This is another delightful exercise for week 4, but this is the case study. So I'm going to do very minimal work on this one because at this point, you'll understand, hopefully, how you work through these assignments. But I will give you a little bit of help along the way, just to point out the things that might be helpful to you as you work through this case study. Now, this is worth 50 points, so I'm going to hope that you've taken a few of the tips I've done on how to set these things up, and you'll work through it accordingly, right? Because part of it is really setting up the different linkages between the pieces of information so you don't have to hand key them, or so that once you put in the raw data, you can get to the right answer. Now, there's another approach, which is put the raw data in and then create all the linkages. That works too. So I'm gonna approach it just one block at a time on this case study so you can see the different elements in the case study itself. So right here, right? All this information, where it needs to go here in the Excel file, and then some hints on where to put the linkages and things of that nature. Okay, and some of the formulas that might be a little bit more problematic. Now, the data itself, you got the current price of the soup. Now, where would that go? Current price of the soup. Well, I got this part over here, and I've got this over here. Current price. Well, they've already put it in there, right? Current price of the soup's already in there. Current sales volume is 2,331 bowls. So where are they going to put that? Current sales volume. Current. Oh, they already got that right there, right? So you got $3. Now, what I don't like about what they've already done so far, not that it matters that big of a deal, but there's no linkages here. Let me move this. This is out of my way. How do I move that? Move it out of my way. There we go. Okay. So, they got 3 and they got 2, 3, 3, 3, 1. I would have linked, one of these together, so you only have to enter it once. Wherever you enter something once, then you just link it all throughout your Excel file. But anyway, they've got the current situation right there. All right. And they say 1 batch of soup equals 12 bowls of soup. Now, I don't know if that's in here right offhand. No, but it is referenced here, right? So you're going to have to say, okay, how many hours per batch? Right? And what's the cost per hour type of information? So this is where that information is going to come in handy. Now, let's go through the recipe itself. Okay, this is all straightforward. If it were me, maybe I would just kind of take this from beginning to end because it is a little bit more of a larger problem than the other two. So maybe I would just start entering in like, 32 ounces for that. Stock fluid ounces 150. This is 16. This is 10. This is 12. 10, 4, 3. And it's in the same order, so that's nice. 1. So those of you that are good data entry folks, another spice is 0.5. Voila. Okay. Now they also have the cost per ounce. We'll just enter that in with you as well, right? So not too bad. 0.15, 0.03, 0.02, 0.02. Hopefully they have these in the same order because I'm just noting them down. 0.25, 0.05, 0.5, 0.6. Looks like they are. Now I just go back and double check my numbers, make sure I've keyed them all in right. And sure enough, I have. All right. So I've got my baseline. All's good. Well, I'm always feeling generous sometimes, so I'll just show you what I would do from here times that. This is the easy stuff, right? All of you should be able to do this part. No problem, right? And, I just did my F2 control enter that enters in all that. And then I do my sum. Oops, sum. And I do this usually with the keyboard. I don't do it with my mouse. And there we go. So, you got your first little bits, and you're well on your way to getting this done right. Now, the curious part is this part, right? The direct labor cost per batch. Well, hours, cost per hour, you got that. That's 6, that's 10, that's 5. That's the easy part. Hours per batch. Oh, they even gave it to you. They didn't do like the pizza where they give you 30 pizzas per whatever per hour. So 1 divided by 30 is how many, one pizza is done in an hour. So what does that mean? So anyway, so they told it here. Hours per batch. 0.1, 0.25, 0.25. That's easy. Okay. And same old thing. Whoops. What's your equals that times? Well, let's do it the right way. Hours times, and there's really no right or wrong. But F2, control enter when it comes to the formulas. Just as long as you get to the formula that works for you. And this is the same thing. So this is, voila, you got your cost. You're well on your way, and then all you're doing is you're referencing. In the end, I guess I'm doing the easy part. So most of you are going like, Brother Lewis, you really have to do this for us. No, I probably don't. So our cost per batch, right there. Okay. So now the real question is, I'm going to leave this. I've done the easy part. Now you got to figure out what's your cost per bowl of soup. Hint, it's your cost per batch divided by the number of bowls you can do per batch. Okay. So I'll leave that one open for y'all. I don't think there's any other information here, is there? They gave it all. They gave it all. So I'm just gonna make this bigger. Okay. So now you need to link your cost per bowl here. You need to calculate your gross margin, and you come up with your gross margin percent. Okay. Your pricing, current pricing structure. Right? What's your gross margin percent? And that should come from what you've already done, right? Your current pricing, whatever this number is, should be linked right here. I think there's a rhyme and a reason to the colors here, right? So looks like, well, this doesn't look like there's a rhyme or reason. It's just different colors. Anyway, so you calculate gross margin percent and get it here. And then your gross margin dollars, right, is going to be the same as what you calculated there. I don't know why they're doing this, but current pricing structure. Okay. Gross margin percent, gross margin dollars, pricing dollars, and per unit per bowl, and then your cost of goods sold. So your cost of goods sold really is going to look exactly like this. So why they did this, I don't know, but you're gonna put it in, you're gonna figure these components out, right? All of these, fill out all of that. Now your target is your 67%. Now, if you remember the formula that we did in the other assignment, 4.2 to be exact, you should be able to figure out your price, because COGS is going to stay the same, right? Your target margin is going to change. So your cost of goods sold is going to be the same as what we have up here, right? Or over here, wherever. You can link it to either one. And then you're going to use your calculation that we came up with in 4.2 to come up with your new price. Okay. Now you have to work through your scenarios. Right, your price per bowl under scenario 1. And scenario 1, what is scenario 1? Let's see if we can go back to that. Scenario 1 is sales remain the same. Okay, so same. No difference in, where am I at? No difference in your price per bowl, no difference in your volume. No, your price per bowl is different. What is it? Same volume? Where'd that go? Same sales remain the same level. Okay. Compute gross margins and sales price based on new price under 3 different scenarios. Got it. Okay. Sorry, sometimes I don't read very well. So new price, same volume for scenario 1. That's what you're going to do there. Okay. So your price per bowl is your new price, and that's going to stay the same all the way down. Okay. This is all going to be that new price. Your volume per year is going to change, right? So this is going to be the same volume, and this is going to be a reduced volume, and this is going to be an increased volume. Let's just double check that. Decrease and increase. Now, you can do it the way I did, or you can, come up with your own formula to figure that out. But you got to come up with your volume per year. Your sales is going to be price per times volume. Your COGS is going to be your volume times your cost of goods sold. Essentially this number right here, right? You're going to calculate the gross margin, dollars and percent. And you can do that for all of them. And voila, you're going to be done. This is going to be so easy for you. You'll come out of this feeling like you want to conquer the world. So, wish you the very best. Prayers will be out there to those of you to open up your minds and your understanding so that you can work through this just fine. Hopefully, I've given you enough of a little push and guidance through the whole document to be able to complete it successfully. Have a great week. Take care. Bye.